with Eden Sakura.
No, not sure what that is. From the start. It's made up.
So underway in Heat 3, the women's 18 and under K1 500. Once again, first place straight through to the A final. The rest will battle it out in the semi-final. And Albie McInnes from Manly Warringah away early, as is Zoe Moore, one of those multi-sport paddlers, big background in surf lifesaving, moving across to paddling as well. Adelaide Hilton there from Bayswater, out to a good start. So it looks like Adelaide Hilton and Albie McInnes setting the pace at the moment, as is Lily Burgess from Onkaparinka.
Yeah, as they come up to that 200 metre mark, I'm going to give it to Emily Rose for the moment. Maybe in lane 6, Emily Rose just in front of Lily Burgess in lane 7, and then across to Zoe Moore from WA. It's going to be a close race, this one.
Yeah.
Looks like there's 3 fighting out for that first spot. But right at the moment, I think it's between Zoe Moore, Emily Rose and Lily Burgess.
Yeah, it's very tight as they pass that 250 metre line. First place gets straight through to the A final. It is Emily Rose and Zoe Moore setting the early pace at the moment. Adelaide Hilton trying to hang on as well. Zoe Moore may just start to be getting the nose in front. Emily Rose, though, not letting her get away with it. So these two paddlers vying for that first spot. Looks like it might be Zoe Moore just in front. Emily Rose, though, pushing hard. It's going to be between those two paddlers. Adelaide Hilton in third at the moment, but the finish is going to be between Emily Rose and Zoe Moore. Nothing separating these two as they approach with 10 to go, and it's going to be Emily Rose from Avoca. She will take that coveted first position. Zoe Moore there in second. Adelaide Hilton from Bayswater in third. Albie McInnes from Manly. Then through to Lily from Onkaparinka. And Alicia Burrows from Westlakes.
Great little race, that one, Mick. First one was seen where first and second have really had to dice it out, and they did it. They were racing the whole way down the track. Love to see the fight though. Both surf paddlers, both tough, and they both fought it out really, really well.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the final of this race. There's some real quality paddlers in this field, and I think that the top sort of 3 to 4 is going to be nothing in it.
I'm going to be interested to see what their coaches have to say to them. You know, is there improvements that they can get? You know, was it they start a little bit off? Is there was it their race plan to start hard and then go home easy, or were they building into the race? There'll be lots of changes between now and the final. So yeah, it would be a great one to watch.
So next on the program is Heat 1 of the women's 16 and under K2 500. The top 3 will be through to the finals, the rest to battle out in the semi-final. In lane 2 from Winton Redlands, it's a composite side. Kira Quigley from CCPC and Hannah Truscott from WRCC. Fairfield's Blythe Osborne and Hugh Wei Chen in lane 2. The Mackay composite, Chloe Harris and Sky Todd in lane 4. From a Fairfield composite team, Hayley Dunbar and Jessie Yu, they're in lane 5. Lane 6 from Fairfield, Mia Wall and Maya Murphy. Lane 7 from Manly Warringah, Maya Jalaka and Julia Ralston. And lane 8 from Sydney Northern Beaches, Hazel Taverner and Summer Rose Partridge. So the composite teams, is that obviously two
So
clubs?
what?
Yes, is that just because of numbers? Like,
Yeah. There's all sorts of races. Sometimes numbers, sometimes you try and pair.
yeah.
You know, a couple of
Yep.
good paddlers up together.
Yep.
So, yeah, all sorts of reasons.
Yep.
It's a common.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it'd be different to serve.
Yeah, that's, because you wouldn't normally see a Avoca and a Manly on a double ski.
Yeah, it's a good and a bad thing. You know, like gives everyone races, get to pair people up, potential Australian teams.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
So we've got a new pairing of Dunbar and Yu in this race. Dunbar has been one of the dominant under 16 female paddlers this season and has paired up this nationals with Yu. So let's have a look. Let's see how they go. They've certainly started well and looking like they are taking control of this race from the Mackay composite of Harris and Todd over the Fairfield team of Wall and Murphy.
So yes, definitely Hayley Dunbar and Jessie Yu out to an absolute flyer as they approach the 250 metre mark. They look to be a good boat length lead at the moment.
Yeah, I'd say they're trying to test out their new team. They wouldn't have paddled much together, so they want to get out there, see what they can do, lay down a good time and challenge the rest of the under 16s.
And with these combinations, it's so different from paddling the single to the double. What are they looking for in their combination?
Yeah, so timing is very important, of course. You know, like any sort of pairs race or teams race, you want to make sure you get the blade in at the same time and out at the same time. So very, very important. Making sure that you're running the boat, you know, like a K1, you still want to run the boat nicely, But it's all about timing.
And it's certainly what this pair have got down to a T. Hayley Dunbar and Jessie Yu, convincing winners in Heat 1 of this women's 16 and under K2 200, doing it very, very comfortably here this morning. The other team from Fairfield, Mia Wall and Maya Murphy in amongst the mix, and Blythe Osborne and Hui Chan.
Yeah, Dunbar done a great job stroking this boat, setting a perfect time for this pair. Yu's absolutely driven it hard. Yeah, nice little handshake at the back there, congratulating each other. Very nice, ladies, very nice work.
So the team from Fairfield, Blythe Osborne, Hui Chan in second place.
And lane 6, Wall and Murphy
from Fairfield
in 3.
Hello.
Paul just said to hear you on that one in the grandstand, but not that one.
Okay.
So I don't know what that means.
Maybe we should try that one. Thank you. Oh, that sucks. Yeah. We've got this here as well.
Oh, okay. So what's that? Is that?
That's just a push to talk.
Oh, okay. So just another.
Push and
Okay.
so I normally use that.
Oh, okay.
It's quite like that.
Yeah.
So we now move into Heat 2 of the women's 16 and under K2 500. Lane 2, Sunshine Composite, Parsons and Smith. Lane 3 from Swan, Newort and Barbie. Lane 4 from Avoca, Pegram and Pegram, the twins. Lane 5 from Avoca, Mansa and Kipax. So Mansa's actually an under 14 paddler, paddling up a nice neat little paddler, so I'll be interested to see how that pairing goes. Yeah, and Kipax is a strong paddler. Fairfield, lane 6, Osborne and Yang. Lane 7, Fairfield Composite, Jarvis and Wallace. Lane 8 from the Gold Coast, Smith, Miller and Moody.
So 14. It's under 14. Wow. Yeah. Light, neat. I think they'll actually be competitive. Yeah, okay. South African newboard.
Yeah. Nice clean start in Heat 2 of the women's 16 and under K2 500, the Fairfield team of Osborne and Yang, and also the Avoca team of Ashley and Ella Pegram getting away nice and cleanly. First 3 through to the final.
So Pegram and Pegram, the twins, have been training for the last couple of seasons together. You'd think, being set of twins, they'd know how each other work, and they certainly did a great job at GP2. Very, very good team, and I expect them to go well. But the other Avoca team of Mansa and Kipax, I also think will go well. Got a nice light paddler on the front, big, strong paddler on the back. Liv will set a very good rating, so I expect them to, once they sort of feel each other out and understand what they're doing, they'll work well. And of course the Fairfield teams, we've got a Fairfield Composite and a Fairfield in lane 6 will perform nicely.
So at the moment it looks like Mansa and Kipax right there alongside Osborne and Yang, and across in lane 3 the team from Swan, Newort and Barbie. Your 3 pace setters at the moment in this race. Looks like Manson and Kipax may have just got their nose in front. It's going to be tight, between Osborne and Yang from Fairfield, Manser and Kipax from Avoca. But it looks like it may be the youngster in that blue boat from Avoca, Liv Manser and Bronte Kipax starting to pull away from Osborne and Yang, and Nivort and Barbie from Swan pushing hard. They'll finish in third, but line honours will go to the team from Avoca, Liv Manser and Bronte Kipax. Abby Osborne and Yang from Fairfield will be second, and the team from Swan in third, Ellie Nivort and Camilla Barbie.
Yeah, they all good.
So there's a couple of guys there's a guy called from Perth, they're still paddling skis, Steve Bird and Jesse
Yeah,
Phillips.
yep. No,
So that was just like good K1, but terrible K1 paddlers, but stick them in a boat together. Yeah, they're insane.
They're pretty good paddlers.
Yeah, but as you said, they never really did a whole lot individually.
Yeah,
but as a
yeah.
pair, just
Smashed it.
amazing. Yeah. Even the Aussies surf titles were in Perth 2 years ago, and they won the double ski, and they turned the cans probably about fourth, and they just bang, like, unbelievable to watch. They just trust themselves, they trust each other. Really, to a good K2, it's just and a K4, it's just nice to watch. Yeah.
So we now move on to the men's 18 and under K2 500. 1 to 3 to the A final, 4 to 7 to semi, and the next fastest. Lane 1 lining up, starting to make their way to the boots. Wynnum Redlands Composite of Flick and Hilbron. Lane 2 from the Sunshine Coast, McGinn and Nichols. Lane 3, Sunshine Coast Composite, Busnick and Whitford. Lane 4 from Queensland Composite, Dykeman and Messenger. Lane 5, Holdfast Bay Composite, Hall and Whelan. So these two boys actually competed in the Opens at GP2 and performed exceptionally well. They didn't do an 18s K2, so expect them to take this one out, but let's see what their plan is. Mackay Composite in Lane 6, Russell and Island. Lane 7, Sydney Northern Beaches, Dickinson and Riddington. Lane 8, Fairfield Composite of Sexton and Bassick.
Riddington, that's Craig's kid. Yeah. I saw a story about him the other day.
Yeah.
He goes all right.
Yeah, it goes good. Yeah.
Where's Holdfast Bay?
South Australia.
South Australia. Is a big paddling community over there?
No, it's like surf,
Yeah.
surf is not huge either.
Yeah. We went to a carnival interstates at Moana.
Yeah, Moana, yeah.
And it must have been about 46 degrees.
Yeah.
It was so hot.
And the next day would have been 14 degrees.
It was unbelievable. It was the hottest day I've ever experienced. And they had to cancel all of the beach
Got the
sprinting.
beach
Had to go
events.
to the
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that started at 5 a.m. because the sand was killing them. The jizz was hot.
Remember lining up as a nipper. Oh, lining up as a nipper in Adelaide, and they used to, they'd call all of the age group. There'd be hundreds of you
Yeah.
together, and you'd be lined up for sprints or flags.
Yeah.
Sitting in the hot sand, just baking.
Yeah.
And it was not in almost 46-degree days.
It was unbelievable. I just couldn't believe how hot
It was hot. So, but like I said, the next day would be 14.
Yeah. Nice spot though. Nice bit of coastline along there.
Good spot for a holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I grew up in that
Yeah, right.
area. Yeah.
You to the Central Coast.
Work
Yeah. Okay.
business.
Nice part of the world. It's good up there.
Yeah, the boys loved it when we moved up there. We were in Melbourne actually at the time.
Yep.
We'd been there for 10 or 12 years. The boys were sort of 12 and 16-ish,
Yeah, okay.
so they moved up and they just went,
Yeah. Yeah.
this is alright.
Yeah.
often racing in Heat 1 of the men's K2 500 under 18s. And by the looks of it, it is the Holdfast Bay composite team of Hall and Whelan. Like I said, they had a fantastic GP2, and that was selection for seniors and under 23s, and they certainly performed exceptionally well. So expect them to dominate this 18s. They won't get it all their own way. There'll be some challenges, but be interesting to see how they come together in this particular event.
Yeah, they certainly got off to a good start, as has the team from Sydney Northern Beaches, Lockie Dickinson and Will Riddington there in lane 7. But at the moment it is the Holdfast Bay composite team of Hall and Whelan that are certainly setting the early pace. The Parallel Australia Direct Queensland composite team of Diekman and Messenger also in amongst it, but the Holdfast Bay composite, Hall and Whelan, having it on their own at the moment.
Yeah, I'd say they'll be really trying to lay down a nice time, get a great little run through, practice their start, make sure that they hold it through the middle and finish it off, which they're certainly doing. Good timing, letting that boat run. But like you said, the Queensland composite team, Diekman and Messenger, no slouches. Diekman certainly performed very well at GP2. Messenger is a bottom age, so still has some time to grow, but has come through nicely with Holdfast Bay taking the win. Diekman, Messenger in second, over here in lane 7 from Sydney Northern Beaches, Dickinson and Riddington.
You think they just may have pipped Flick and Hilbron, the Wynnum Redlands composite team. First 3 through to the final.
Nice work, lads. And we'll move on now to Heat 2 of the under 18 men's K2 500. Lane 1, Currumbin Creek, Ash and Veering. Lane 2, Onkaparinga Composite, Rettig and Lines. Lines, big, strong family from Adelaide. You have a look at their father. He's a huge man. So I expect some big power coming from Lachlan Lines. Bayswater Composite in lane 3, Karuna and Salisbury. Manly Warringah from lane 4 with Cornwall and Els. Avoca in lane 5, Drobot and Montgomery. Lane 6, Avoca Composite with Glue and Newton, Manly Warringah. Mako and Thornthwaite from lane 7. And Ascot Composite in lane 8 with Monaghan and Bean.
So these seedings that they've got, that came from the last.
Yeah, it will come from their lowest. Yeah. So, there's over a few races they actually get that. Yeah, so their best time.
Yeah. And when they've thrown some of these composite teams together first time here.
Yeah, so they may not have us.
Yeah, yeah.
So as they pull up to the boots, who have you got your money on? Mick, Bayswater Composite of Caruana and Salisbury. I'm expecting some good things.
Yeah, I think it'll be tight between those two and the Manly Warringah composite of Cornwall and Mate Els, and also the Avoca team, Drobot and Montgomery. So I think between those 3. So away in Heat 2 of the men's 18 and under K2 500 metre race, but it looks like it's a bit of a false start.
A little bit of a false start. The boys are a bit nervous. They must be sensing the first 3 is, there might be 4 or 5 boats trying to make that top 3. So a little bit nervous.
And which is good. The pressure is on. It's an Australian championship, so you'd like to think they are nervous and Yeah, there's a bit of a false start. Also interesting watching the Ascot composite team, Blake Monaghan and Lockie Bean. Lockie Bean toured with the WA State Surf Lifesaving team, so a good all-round athlete starting to venture into kayaking. So it'll be interesting to see how that Ascot composite team in lane 8 goes here as well.
Good to see. Love to see the switch over from surf to kayak. We see it all the time. 90% of our paddlers out here are surf paddlers, and
I think it's great. It's good that they've got the two disciplines, and it strengthens both of the sports. So I'm all for it, and great to see there's a lot big mix of them that are here today racing that are surf club paddlers.
Overseas, Germany or Hungary or Spain, they would love to have a fantastic recruiting ground like surf.
Yeah.
They're lining up now. Try this one again, lads. You're allowed one break per lane.
Per lane. Okay. So this time it looks like they are away cleanly in Heat 2 of the men's under 18 K2 500. First 3 through to the final. And it looks like those middle lanes, the Manningham composite team of Cornwall and Els away early, as is Caruana and Salisbury from the Bayswater composite team.
Yeah, I like the looks of Caruana and Salisbury, both, again, WA paddlers, so you know they're going to be quick off the mark. And being a K2, it's going to be a shorter race for a 500. In other words, the time's going to be a little bit less. So they should have the energy to last this race. But they're not going to be on their own. The Avoca crew of Drobot and Montgomery performed very well, and Drobot, he's got the cred. His sister is on the national women's team. He certainly can move a boat, and Kalen has come along very strongly in the last 12 months, especially in the last sort of 200 metres of a race. You'll see that his surf prowess and his fitness is going to come through, but they haven't got it all their own way. I'd say at the moment the Bayswater composite of Caruana and Salisbury is edging them out. And are they going to fight it? They know that the top 3 go through, so are they going to fight the whole way?
I think they might. By the looks of it, the team of Caruana and Salisbury from Bayswater, I think it's the Manly composite team, Cornwall and Els. It's all about bragging rights, and it will go to the Bayswater team. Manly composite in second, and it looked like the Avoca composite of Newton and Glue picking up that other straight through to the finals. But tight racing, and these young men, they do want to win everything, so that no one's sitting back there letting the other go through and just coasting through for the victory. So it's all about getting that first place, and it's great to see the competitiveness of these young paddlers coming out in these heats.
It's going to be very interesting to see what their coaches say to them. Did they stick with the race plan, or did they just get a rush of blood? I think the difference there, though, in that race between the top 2 crews was timing. You could see that Caruana and Salisbury had fantastic timing. The boat was running beautifully, and potentially the Avoca crew just tightened up towards the end. Timing just went out a little bit, not badly, but they were just off a little bit. So some improvements can be had there.
Yeah, so looking forward to the final of that one. That was the men's 18 and under K2 500. Next on the program is the men's 16 and under K1 500. Heat 1. First 6 go through to the semi-final. In lane 1 from the Hunter Valley, Taj Williams. In lane 2 from the Sunshine Coast, Connor Riches. Jasper Graham from Hunter Valley in lane 3. Alexander Small from Swan in 4. Riley Scott from Currumbin Creek in lane 5. Finn Island from Mackay in 6. Ethan Yang from Fairfield in 7. And his teammate Cooper Alt from Fairfield in lane 8.
Good to see the Hunter Valley being represented. The Cockle Creek Cobras all the way from Hunter Valley. They've got a great coach there in Adam Rowe, and the Cobras are going to represent this weekend in the under-16s and the under-18s. They've even got an under-18 that I've seen come through. So looking forward to seeing how the Cobras strike.
So underway in the first heat of the men's 16 and under K1 500. Looks like Riley Scott from Currumbin Creek has got himself off to a flying start. Alexander Small from Swan trying to stick with him, but a lightning start by Riley Scott.
My gosh, he has hit it hard, hasn't he? Straight from the get-go. Definitely wants to lay down a good time. Maybe another under-16 Rucker Blood. Let's just get out there and go hard, which is great to see it. But he's shown everyone a clean set of heels. Maybe just easing back a fraction now. His rating's still up though. Rating's still up over 110, so he's certainly working very, very hard. And next to him he's being pressured by the Swan paddler Alexander Small, coached by Demi O'Brien. So another young coach. Another WA speedster.
And Cooper Alt from Fairfield probably getting himself up into third at the moment, but it is between Scott and Small, Currumbin Creek up against Swan, as these two just passed the 250 metre mark. Connor Richards from the Sunshine Coast also up amongst it with Jasper Graham from the Hunter Valley, but Riley Scott from Currumbin Creek coming up on the inside. Cooper Alt from Fairfield, he's not letting them get too far ahead, but Riley Scott and Alexander Small doing it easy at the moment.
Yeah, you want to be in this top six. The top three you could almost lock away now, I think. And then we have Connor Richards and Jasper Graham fighting it over in lane 2 and lane 3, with lane 7 and lane 8 from Fairfield, Ethan Yang and Cooper Alt fighting it out for those next 3 spots. Looking like to me it is Connor Richards in 4th, then to the Cockle Creek Cobra, Jasper Graham in 5th, and then lane 6, Finn Island from Mackay rounding out the top 6.
So those top 6 through to the semi-final of the men's 16 and under K1 500.
Now, of course, these K1 500s for the under-16s are very important races. They're all vying for not only a national title, but also to gain selection onto the Asia-Pacific team that's heading off to Japan this year.
Yeah.
So it's a tri-series between Australia, New Zealand and Japan. Great team to be on, led by Christine Duff. I think everyone who's paddled in Australia, whether you're an Olympian from 20 years ago or paddling now, has been coached by Duffy, so he's well experienced, and yeah, it should be good racing and some good fighting to get onto that team.
So underway in the men's 16 and under K1 500 Heat 2 in lane 2. Noah Cullen from Bayswater, Charlie Wright from Manly Warringah in 3, Bo Jacob from Canning River in 4, Orlando Fonseca from Bayswater in 5, Lockie Matthews from Sydney Northern Beaches in 6, Zach Moffat from Manly Warringah in 7, and Harry Thornthwaite from Manly Warringah in lane 8.
And it's looking like Fonseca from Bayswater well and truly out in front, taking a boat length over the rest of the field.
Yeah, his coach Andrew Crothers, one of the rising coaches in Western Australia, has got a good fleet of paddlers underneath him, getting some good results, and Orlando Fonseca, a terrific start.
Yeah, although, sorry, mistake there. So Bo Jacobs has taken that in lane 4. So it's Bo Jacobs. No, sorry, I correct myself again. It is Fonseca. Fonseca in lane 5, leading as we hit that 200 metre mark. From the other Bayswater paddler, Noah Kelland coming through in second. And then it's a bit of a line between lanes 4 and 6 for third spot.
Yeah, so Bo Jacob in 4. So a big WA contingent in this second heat of the under-16s, but it will be Fonseca from Bayswater in lane 5, and that orange and grey kayak as we'll have this one, but yeah, being chased hard there by Noah Kelland. These kids would all know each other pretty closely, paddling a lot together in the west, but it will be Orlando Fonseca from lane 5. His coach Andrew Crothers will be very happy with that result.
He looks like he's done it pretty easy, cruising across the line, looking very strong, running the boat beautifully, and then across to Noah Kelland from Bayswater in second spot, and then into Bo Jacobs from Canning River. So WA 1, 2, 3.
2-3. He's coached by Michael Booth. Again, a big name in stand-up paddling, kayak paddling and ski paddling. One of those all-round athletes. As Zach Moffat crosses the line, just ahead of Charlie Wright from the Manly Warringah Club, and then Harry Thornthwaite as well.
So we have 4 heats of the men's 16 and under K1 500. We're now moving into heat 3. The lads move up into the boots. Lane 2, Dane Raywood from Currumbin Creek. Zhang from Manly Warringah in 3. Marsden from lane 4 from Swan. Poland, Currumbin Creek, lane 5. Lane 6, Sydney Northern Beaches. Finlay McLennan. Lane 7, Sunshine Coast, Taj Purcell. And Brody Frew from Avoca in lane 8. Good clean start by these athletes in the under 16 K1 500 for men. Expecting Asa Poland, coached by Julian Norton-Smith, to lead this one out. Performed strongly at GP2. Big strong lad from Currumbin Creek. They know how to coach them there at Currumbin Creek. Very, very good athletes. Obviously Kenny Wallace from Currumbin Creek, so they've got a bit of a heritage and quite good pedigree. So certainly that's what I'm seeing.
Yeah, a breeding ground for good paddlers, but Poland is away very well, as is Taj Purcell from Sunshine Coast in lane 7. Off to a good start, and Alistair Marsden there from Swan as well. They look like to be the top 3.
And Brody Frew, Avoca, on the outside. He's raiding the house down. He wants this. He wants to get through and put down a good time. It is 1 to 6 through to the next round. But it's going to be close racing. Looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a line there. Yeah.
Very tight as they hit that 200.
Okay, it's that Marsden, I think, over in from Swan.
Yeah, Swan just ahead of Poland as they hit that 250 metre mark. But as you mentioned, also Purcell from Sunshine Coast and Frew from Avoca fighting it out as well.
And Marsden's really letting them go now. He's swinging those shoulders. He's digging in deep, putting the big power strokes in. He wants it. He wants it hard. Needs to keep his head still a little bit, sort of throwing the boat around. But boy, is he big and strong.
So it's going to be a good finish. Rayward also from Currumbin Creek in amongst it, but will be between Marsden and Poland. Marsden's going to take it. He's about a boat length in front as they approach. Top 6 going through. So it will be Marsden in first place, Poland second, and then Rayward from Currumbin Creek just getting third ahead of Frew and then Purcell from the Sunshine Coast.
Awesome, cool, mate. Okay.
No, you're right.
What are we missing?
Nothing so much, it's just that you two speak at different levels, and
So-
I'm just trying to adjust
Yeah, okay. Am I too quiet, too loud?
to it, but that's fine. And
Okay.
get ready,
Yep.
because this camera is actually live,
Oh, good, so we can see us.
so for filling for bits like this, normally if you're talking, we'll probably cut to that
Yeah, good.
shot, which you'll see come up in due course.
Yeah, it's all right. Went and did my beauty regime yesterday, so I'm good for it.
And now the last heat, Mick, of the men's 16 and under K1 500. Again, first 6 through to the semi-final. And lane 2, Dean Parsons from Sydney Northern Beaches. Lane 3, Griffin Angelestos from Bayswater. I'll get that name right before the race is over. Tor Mansa from in lane 4 from Avoca. Axel Tan in lane 5 from Fairfield. Jasper Hunter, lane 6 from Avoca. Lane 7, Cobram Barunga. First one we've seen from Cobram. Callum Lincoln and Wynnum Redlands. Hayden Leno in lane 8.
Angela loves us. Look, if I'm ready first.
So what would be the strongest kayaking program would be in New South Wales? WA's pretty good.
No, it's so champion club last year was Mount Oregon.
Yep.
And they're a good strong club. But yeah, WA, always been good. West Lakes have always been good. Sydney Northern Beaches have won it a number of times.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And so is there, they pick a champion club from this?
Yeah.
event?
Yeah, we get a point score and
Yeah, okay.
so we'll be able to talk about that in the coming days.
Yep.
Which will be quite good.
So away in the final heat of the men's 16 and under K1 500, and Axel Tan from Fairfield getting off to a flying start. Tor Mansour from Avoca trying to chase him, and Hayden Lano from Wynnum Redlands as well.
Yeah, inside lane here in lane 8. He's gone off on a flyer. So good old Wynnum Redlands, coached by Matthew Ingerman. Let's see if he can hang on and finish the whole race.
He certainly shot out of the gates. Hayden Lano from Wynnum Redlands pushing up amongst with Axel Tan and Tor Mansour. So lane 5, Tan is in from Fairfield, Mansour from Avoca in 4, but Hayden Lano from Wynnum Redlands staying with them at the moment, setting a very early pace as they approach the 250 metre mark.
Jasper Hunter as well, probably in third or fourth spot, coming through nicely. Jasper, he's a tough racer, been a good surf paddler, very good board paddler. Still got a bit of development in him, but he's tough and he'll race hard.
So Tan from Fairfield crosses the 250 first. Tor Mansour from Avoca in second. Hayden Lano from Wynnum Redlands there in lane 8, hanging on to third at the moment, but the battle looks like it's going to be between Tan and Mansour. Fairfield up against Avoca. Top 6 through in this final heat of the men's 16 and under K1 500.
Couple of nice looking boats out there in front too. The blue and the black of Tan looks very, very good, and offset by the grey and the green. I like that of Mansa's boat. Both looking good, but Tan's got it comfortably. Don't think Mansa's pushing too hard, just running those arms over. Tan looks pretty comfortable as well. So nice work there from Tan and Mansa. A good 2 or 3 boat lengths, maybe more, 4 boat lengths in head of Hayden Lano and Jasper Hunter. Lano in 3, Hunter in 4. Didn't quite finish that start off that he had, Lano, but he knew he had to get top 6. Oh, and there we go, Angelatos, lane 3. I got your name right in the end there, Griffin. Sorry about that earlier, but you're through in 5th. And then in lane 7 from Cobram Barunga, Callum Lincoln.
Is that one? Mackay. It is Mackay. Yeah, Mackay.
So we're now on to the young ones, the up-and-comers, the future of the sport, the potential Olympians for Brisbane 32, or unless you're, a Pierre van Westerhausen, maybe they'll make the next Olympics, but don't expect that. But in lane 2 from Mackay, Caden Lee. Lane 3 from West Lakes, Jason Ness. Lane 4 from Swan, Hugo Marsden. Joel Moritz from Currumbin Creek in 5. Koa Brody, Currumbin Creek in 6. Hugo Dooney, Manly Warringah in 7. And Badad Samadaran, again, I'll get that name right by the time this race is over. Rookie mistake there, should have read it early. Didn't quite do that. I'll do that next time. Mick, that's actually your job to warn me on that.
No, I saw that one coming. I thought I'd let you go on that one.
Yeah, appreciate it.
But you're right, it's an exciting time for these young guys, the under 14s, with that carrot of Brisbane in 32. It's a big motivator, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and it's a huge carrot, and it should be a motivator because, we've got a session coming up tomorrow just after lunch, Q&A with all of our Olympians that everyone is welcome to come to, just above the boat sheds 4, 5 and 6. So make sure you get along to that. If you're here, a parent, a paddler, it doesn't matter who you are. But those Olympians who we're going to hear from were here racing in these sorts of races, a number of years ago.
Yeah. And it's very tangible, the fact that it will be here in Australia for these young Australian paddlers. And what a great goal that is for them to try and make that team. And it all starts here.
And the boys are away nicely. Samadarian has a good start. Really impressed their young paddler from Sydney Northern Beaches. These paddlers from Sydney Northern Beaches in this age group have actually only been paddling for about 4 or 5 weeks. So they're very, very new, and good on them for being here at Nationals, and looking forward to seeing how they race and what they can produce. Definitely out in the middle lane, Swan. Marsden, Moritz, Marsden from Swan, and Moritz from Currumbin Creek leading the way early.
Also Dooney, I should say, from Manly Warringah, right up there as well. And Caden Lee from Mackay, also in the orange hat. He's got himself off to a fairly good start, but it does look like it's Marsden from Swan, just with his nose in front at the moment, just ahead of Moritz there from Currumbin Creek.
Yeah, Demi O'Brien from Swan's got a couple of the young paddlers, so it's good to see her as an ex-paddler now transitioning into coaching and bringing these young ones through. And looks strong. He's certainly put a good race together so far as they come through to the 200 metres. Nice controlled stroke rate, not overrating, looking for power, trying to get the water, rotate, drive the legs, lifting the rating now though, wants to win it, under 14 definitely wants to win it,
Yep.
and leading the way from Mackay, Caden Lee. You called him a while ago, so I think he's coming through for that second spot.
Yeah, coached by Tony Ireland. Got the selector's hat on, the bright orange cap. Hugo Marsden, though, from Swan, comfortably in the lead at the moment. And Joel Moritz from Currumbin Creek in third place. But it will be Hugo Marsden from Swan will take this one out. Caden Lee from Mackay will take second place. The first three through to the final. And as Marsden eases off as he approaches the finish line, doing it comfortably ahead of Lee. And then Moritz from Currumbin Creek will pick up the next direct entry through to that final.
And 4 to 7 going through to the semi. So it looks like we've got a close one here. Lane 7, Dooney from Ness over in lane 3, and then lane 6, Koa Brody from Currumbin Creek.
And Baydad Samandarian crossing the line there, but great to see all these young paddlers getting out early stages of their career at the moment, and great to see them all out enjoying the sport.
Yeah, good to see. And good to see this second heat lining up of the men's 14 and under K1 500. Lane 2, Cameron Briggs from Manly Warringah. Hugo Den from Fairfield in lane 3. Taj Caldwell from Illawarra in 4. First Illawarra paddler, I think, for the day. Alexander Lyons from Onkaparinga in 5. Tyson Busnick from Fairfield in 6. Killian Quigley from Currumbin Creek in 7, and Ben Applewhite from Sydney Northern Beaches in 8.
The dulcet tones. Oh, you're off. Yep. Hello, mate. How are you? Good? Yeah. Mark, Nick,
Yeah,
we met
downstairs,
Mark,
but
yep.
twice in one day, mate.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
Gumbo. Oh, mate. I mean, you're big now. Yeah. We're all under control. Oh, your loss rate's fantastic. Yeah.
So heat 2 of the men's 14 and under K1 500 underway, and Alexander Lyons from Onkaparinga getting off to a nice start. Tyson Busink from Fairfield with him as well, but a terrific start by Lyons from Onkaparinga.
Been some great paddlers over the years from Onkaparinga. A couple of Olympians, some good senior paddlers. The Wooden Brothers, of course, well known for their surf prowess many, many years ago. Yeah, I'm sure that Alexander's going to come through just like every other Onkaparinga paddler, and they're tough and they're hard and they know how to paddle.
We've had one paddler just lost his way, one capsized there. I think that might be Ben Applewhite from Sydney Northern Beaches. He'll be looked after though by all the support staff here at this wonderful venue. But it looks like Lyons continuing to forge the lead in this second heat. Cameron Briggs from Manly Warringah across in lane 2. Looks like he may have got himself up to second place at the moment. And then not much separating Den, Caldwell, Busink and Quigley. But Alexander Lyons from Onkaparinga as they pass the 250.
Yeah, I think we could pencil in 1 and 2 right now. Lyons and Briggs for 1 and 2, but it's who's going to be that third spot? Who's going to get straight through to the final? Possibly could be Caldwell.
Yeah, not much separating. Quigley is pushing as well. Caldwell may just have his nose in front for that third spot. Lyons is going to take it out, no problem there at all. Cameron Briggs will be second, but that battle for third, for that direct entry into the final.
Yeah, he looks good at strong. He's done that. Briggs is looking comfortable. The third spot to go straight through to the final. Who wants it? Who's going to hurt the most?
So Paul Quigley may just be in front. I think it is going to be Quigley's going to take it. So he picks up the third, the direct entry. Well done to Killian Quigley, just getting ahead of Taj Caldwell.
And then Busnik and Deng. Good racing, lads. Interesting to see they all come over after the race and congratulate each other. Great teamwork, and there'll be a few called over to weigh their boats. But yeah, they'll all have a good chat about what they could have, should have, would have done, and claim the race if they won it.
And the weighing of the boats, is there a range? How close do they have to be?
You've got to be under 12 kilos.
Under 12.
Yeah. So
anything over 12.1? No good.
No, sorry, over. You have to be over.
12.
Yeah.
Under 12. So
Yeah,
11.9?
Yeah, 11.9,
No
no good. Yeah, that's a no-no.
So and if your boat is slightly under going to the races, weights, is that how you've got to try and add the weights?
Yeah. And you can move the weights around, so you can put
Yeah.
them forward or back depending on what you need in your boat and the way you're positioned.
And 12 kilos, that's for the young guys right through?
Yeah, every boat.
kind.
Yep. All right. Here we go.
Into the women's, the Open K1 500. Heat 1, first place straight through to the A final. In lane 2, Jen Stanley from Bayswater, Stephanie Chen from Currumbin Creek in 3, Kaylee Harlan from Sydney Northern Beaches in 4, Ella Beer from Avoca in 5, Caitlin Webber from Westlake in 6, Emerson Hardy, PA Direct from Queensland in 7, and Lani Steele from the Sunshine Coast in 8. And they are away. Harlan gets off to a good start from City Northern Beaches. Ella Beer from Avoca as well. But the speed of these Open women in this K1 500. It's Heat 1. First place through to the A final.
So we have Paris Olympian Ella Beer in lane 5 from Avoca. But from all reports, Kaylee Harlan has been in very good form. Couldn't race at GP2, had an injury, so didn't quite race, but has been in very, very good form. Ella Beer, Paris Olympian, hasn't done a lot of work. She's only just started to come back to training and really hasn't done much in the last couple of weeks. So, we'll see how she goes. She's a great racer. She's never scared to race. So we'll see how she comes up against Harlan.
Yes.
And looking good so far.
Yeah, she's certainly the pointy end. Webber also doing very well from Westlakes. Harlan, Chen as well from Currumbin Creek. So really tight in the early stages that they hit that 250 metre mark. 4 paddlers fighting it out at the moment.
I'll almost give it to Webber. Right now it looks like Webber and Harlan are fighting it out for that first spot. I think Beers probably just dropped that stroke rate, has said, yeah, this is enough pain for me for the moment. Let's go through to the semis. But Harlan and Webber are fighting for this first spot. Harlan's lifting the stroke rate. She wants it the most. She's lifting that stroke rate. She's putting the power strokes in. That pink and green boat with the flowers on looks fast, looks strong. Harlan's come out and she's made a little statement here, looking very, very good. Coming over the line from lane 6, Caitlin Webber, and then over to Chen from Currumbin Creek, back to Beer, and then over to Stanley, lane 7, Hardy, and then lane 8, Lani Steele from Sunshine Coast.
Yeah, really good paddle there by Kaylee Harlan from City Northern Beaches. and pushed all the way by Caitlin Webber. So a great start, but it will be Harlan the one straight through to that A final.
No sign of that injury. That's well and truly recovered. So good to see another big race here, the 500. It's one that the ladies want to win, that 500 and 200. Very, very strong competition, and this second heat is not lacking in any quality. Lane 2 from Bayswater, Sarah Major. Lane 3 from Bayswater, Samantha Lurie. Lane 4, Natalia Drobot from Avoca, another good, strong up-and-comer. Lane 5, Alexandra Clark, another Olympian from Queensland, Paris Olympian Alexandra Clark. Currumbin Creek, Jasmine Raywood in Lane 6, Abby Major from Bayswater in Lane 7, and Jasmine Lane from Wynnum Redlands in Lane 8.
And again, you talk about these cross-sport athletes, Sammy Lowry from Bayswater, very well-known surf paddler in WA, and a great experience for young girls like her to be racing against Olympians in these Australian Championships.
Oh, look, the experience all of these paddlers get, and you can almost point out in each heat there's an Olympian, there's another Olympian, there's another Olympian, and you know these girls are not just Olympians, they're A finalists and Olympians. You know, they've K4 they were able to get 8th in Paris, and the K2 with Beer and Bull were 7th.
Yeah.
So they're no slouches. They know how to paddle, and they're World Championship medalists as well. So high performers.
And just a great opportunity for these young paddlers to get in their ear and see how they prepare, talk to them. It's a wonderful opportunity for these young paddlers. Talk about how they prepare, what they do, how they rest, what they eat, just to get to watch them, see their preparation firsthand.
Accessible is what I'd say. It's like surf. You know, the elites are accessible, and to be able to have access to Olympians, like you said, to watch how they do things is very important. How they warm up, what they eat during the day, how they cool down. You know, they're the little things that make the difference.
Make the difference, yeah. Okay, a quick chat under the tent during the day.
Get a bit of advice. They're always up for a chat. The girls are slowly rolling into the boots.
So heat 2 of the Women's Open K1 500 underway, and those two green and gold boats of Alexandra Clark and Natalia Drobot getting away early. That's nice, Abby Major in that black and gold kayak from Bayswater. They are your early leaders in the opening stages of heat 2 of this Women's Open K1 500.
Another good start from a Bayswater paddler. They have the skills. They definitely have the speed, and they definitely have the skills. But Alexandra Clark, Paris Olympian, and Drobot from Avoca, again another senior women paddling up on the coast, up on the Gold Coast. I expect to take it out, and to me it looks like Drobot is out in front, has again from all reports been performing very nicely.
Yeah, Drobot looks like she's got about a half a boat length over the top of Alexandra Clark as they approach the 250 metre mark. Major from Bayswater, maybe just Rayward, it may be from Currumbin Creek. In fact, it will be in 3rd place. Major from Bayswater in 4th, Lowry from Bayswater in 5th. As they make their way down to the second half of this race, Drobot it will be from Avoca, just ahead of Clark, the first place through to the A final.
Yeah, Clark's turned the jets off. She's realised that she's not going to get that first spot, or not willing to fight for it anyway. She's going to take her chances going through to the semi-final. Drobot is in control. She's slowed down a bit as well. She's taken the pressure off. She knows she's got this win, but looking good, running the boat beautifully. Drobot in 1, from Clark, the Olympian, in 2, and then across to Raywood from Currumbin Creek in 3, and not far behind is Lowry from WA in Bayswater, and then across to lane 7. Major started well, hung on nicely, and then we go back across to Sarah Major in lane 2, and then out here from Wynnum Redlands, Jasmine Lane.
So Drobot straight through to the final. The rest will get a semi-final. Another chance for them to join Natalia Drobot in the A final of the Women's Open K1 500.
Now this next race is going to be a little bit open, I think, Mick. You have a look at who we've got in the race. All quality paddlers, but no Olympians on this heat, so could be some opportunity for someone to make their mark. And that could be Phoebe Woodhouse from Sunshine Coast in lane 2, or maybe Phoebe Wills-Grace from Sunshine Coast in lane 3. Imagine being their coach on the Sunshine Coast. Phoebe.
Yep.
Someone's going to call us. Is going to do what you ask them anyway. Illawarra, Jasmine Locke showed some good form at GP2, so I expect her to go well, and that's why she's in lane 4. She's seated well. Same with Claudia Bailey, quality paddler, paddling very nicely out of Currumbin Creek. Alyssa Bailey, her sister, also from Currumbin Creek in lane 6, and Chelsea Sutton from Manly Warringah, first year open, looking to make her mark in lane 7 from Manly Warringah. So you don't often see this, the Bailey sisters coming up against each other. They normally get split. Not because they're sisters, it just happens to fall that way. Yep. So I'm going to be interesting to see which sister comes out on top.
One better than the other?
Wow, we'll find out. I don't want to call that right here. But yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll find out who's going to be better. I do expect Jasmine to perform strongly, and it's going to be a good strong race between Locke and Claudia Bailey, I think.
Yep.
So Heat 3 of the Women's Open K1 500 underway. The winner to the A final. And a pretty even start between Jasmine Locke from Illawarra, Phoebe Wills-Grace from the Sunshine Coast, and Claudia Bailey from Currumbin Creek. Chelsea Sutton also away well from Manly Warringah in lane 7.
Yeah, it's a good even race, Mick. Very good race. We called it at the start. We thought it would be pretty even. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be the one who wants it the most, who wants to make their mark. But for me, it's actually Chelsea Sutton is performing exceptionally over here in lane 7. She's come out hard and is matching it with the big guns of Jasmine Locke of Illawarra and Phoebe Wills-Grace from Sunshine Coast.
Looks like Locke may just be in front. Phoebe Wills-Grace, not much separating her and Claudia Bailey as they hit the 250, but definitely Jasmine Locke from Illawarra is in the lead. Claudia Bailey will be second at the 250 with Phoebe Wills-Grace in third. Chelsea Sutton just starting to drop off a little bit after a flying start by her. Phoebe Woodhouse also from the Sunshine Coast across there in lane 2, trying to stick with it, but Jasmine Locke from Illawarra looks like she may have wrapped up this direct entry to the A final.
Yeah, of course, Jasmine Locke from the famous Locke family down there at Illawarra. Dad was a very, very good paddler in the surf, and Jasmine is no slouch as well, and looking super strong. She's taken it out easily. Everyone else is pretty much turned off. I think we've decided the argument there between Claudia and Alyssa, certainly for the moment, with Claudia second, Phoebe Wills Grace in fourth, Phoebe Woodhouse in third, Chelsea Sutton in lane 7, and then Alyssa Bailey in lane 6. Alyssa seemed to have a good start, but then just turned off and is ready to have another go in the semi-final.
Yeah, so a convincing win there to Jasmine Locke in Heat 3 of that Women's Open K1 500, which then takes us to the next race, which is the Men's Open K1 500, the first heat. The winner again straight through to the A final. The rest will progress to the semi-final. In lane 1 from the Sunshine Coast, Andy Ross. In 2 from Sydney Northern Beaches, Lucas Racuna. In 3 from Manly Warringah, Michael Dunbar. In 4 from PA Direct, Pierre van der Westhuizen. In 5, Tom Green, the Olympian, PA Direct Club. Charles Heaton Armstrong from Sydney Northern Beaches in 6. Aidan Carberry from West Lakes in 7. Liam Fell from Sydney Northern Beaches in 8. And in lane 9 from the Sunshine Coast, he's had a bit of time in Western Australia with the City of Perth Surf Club, Samuel Henson Thompson, coached by Charlene Kelly.
I believe that you know Samuel quite well, Mick.
Yes, he actually moved across from Queensland to race in WA and ended up living in my house for about 2.5 years, but a tremendous fella, a great surf competitor, made the final of the Australian surf titles last year. He's decided to turn his attention to kayaking this year, and it's great to see him racing here at Penrith in Heat 1 of the K1 500. A big, strong lad. He's about 6'6", about 100 kilos, so his paddle certainly takes a lot of weight, and his boat, I feel sorry for his boat. A lot of weight that it's got to carry.
He must have eaten you out of house and home, Mick.
He certainly did, but he's a terrific fellow, one of the great characters on the circuit, and terrific to see him paddling here today.
Good to see. I expect Tom Pierre to dominate this one. Superstars of the sport, Olympians, medalists.
There was a night where Sam actually had Tom around for dinner at our place.
Okay.
So a lot of cooking for my wife to do, but it's great. This community we talk about, the paddling community, are very tight, and it's great to see so many of them are such good friends.
Yeah, well, Tom's no slouch on the food either.
So away, and it looks like Pierre van der Westhuizen may have got the best of the start. Henson Thompson a little bit slow out of the blocks. Andy Ross also from the Sunshine Coast across there in lane 1 got away well. But it looks like Pierre van der Westhuizen and Green certainly off to a good start. Not much separating these paddlers in the early stages of the Heat 1 of this Men's Open K1 500.
No, the race is on, and your man Samuel has started well. Not sure if he's going to have the legs to match it with the big boys, but he's certainly had a good first 50.
So it looks like it might be Pierre van der Westhuizen in lane 4, just in the lead at the moment, being pushed by Tom Green. Not much separating those two. Then across to Heaton Armstrong from Sydney Northern Beaches.
Yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing from Heaton Armstrong. Didn't see him at GP2, but he is powering along nicely.
So Pierre van der Westhuizen in lane 4.
A little bit behind Tommy Green. He's got it under control. He's dropped that rating. He's going for the power. Big Tommy Green under control. Half a boat length over Pierre, who seems to have settled back now. Tommy's going to take the win unless something crazy happens. Tommy is looking very comfortable. Big Tom Green in lane 5.
Easing right off. Just
Going to take the win. Oh, he's going to dice it. Boys are coming home strong. Pierre for second. Third spot I'm going to give to Mickey Dunbar from Manly Warringah. Well done, Big Mick. And then over to lane 7, Liam Fell, West Lakes, Adam Carberry. And then your man Sammy Henson Thompson from Andy Ross on the Sunshine Coast.
There was a scratching. That's what threw me.
Yeah, I meant to say sorry.
No, that's right. I didn't know if that was just my pen line just happened to go through that.
Sorry.
No, that's right.
So yeah, the line through is a
Yeah, yeah.
scratch. Both the right hand boys.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that was a good race, Mick. Tom had it under control most of the way, and I think he stopped paddling about 5 metres from the finish, just to give the finish judges a bit of a heart starter and a bit of a check, make them earn their money.
Yeah, it'd be nice to be in a position where you can ease off and still win a heat, a quality heat like
a quality
that.
heat. Yeah,
So
yeah,
it
absolutely.
certainly can paddle Tom Green and can eat, as we have discussed.
Yeah, that's and the quality doesn't stop there. Heat 2 of the men's Open K1 500 sees lane 1 Chris Burns from Fairfield, lane 2 Sam Myers from Bayswater, another one that you'd know quite well, I'm sure. Bailey Clusie, big strong lad from the Sydney Northern Beaches. Noah Havard, Olympic silver medalist from Paris in lane 5. Jackson Collins, his teammate, Olympic silver medalist in the K4 in lane 5. Jakey Morris in lane 6. Scratching in lane 7. Lane 8, Thomas Ladson from Fairfield, and Maximilian Humphreys in lane 9.
And again, we talk about the cross-pollination between surf and kayaking, and this one is full of Sam Myers, Clues, Havard, Collins, Morris, all very well-known surf ski paddlers as well.
Yeah, and I'm expecting Jake Morris to have a good race. He didn't quite perform to his standards in this particular race, the 500 at GP2, so I think his coach would have worded him up to have a good one.
And pretty quickly as well, Jake Morris looks like he may have got the best of the start. Havard pushing him, and Clues as well. Sam Myers from Bayswater up there. Chris Burns across from Fairfield in lane 1. But it looks like it might be between Collins and Morris at the moment in the early stages, and Bailey Clues as well from Sydney Northern Beaches.
Yeah, Morris has definitely got something to say in this race, wants to make a statement. Collins is not going to let him have it all his own way, neither is Havard. All 3 paddlers neck and neck as they come up to the 200. It looks to me like Collins just have it over Havard, with Morris in 3rd and Clues right on his hammer.
Yeah, so good racing in Heat 2, but it does look like it's Collins just in the lead in that green and gold boat. Havard, though, pushing him as well as they approach the final stages. Jake Morris may have just dropped into 4th. Brady Clues looks like he might be in 3rd at the moment. Jackson Collins.
Yeah, Collins has put the medal down. He's put the pedal to the metal. He is going to take this race. Havard easing off slightly.
So Collins will go straight through. Noah Havard will pick up 2nd place. The battle for 3rd is a tight one. Looks like Morris is just going to get it over Clues. Clues in 4th. Humphreys in 5th there. And then it looks like Thomas Landon from Fairfield just ahead of Myers, and then Burns also from Fairfield. But good racing. Jackson Collins too strong. Gets straight through to that A final.
Yeah, it was good to see Morris didn't let them go. They certainly took a little lead around the 200 metre mark, but Morris fought back strongly, which was nice to see. Well done. And then we move on to men's open K1 Heat 3.
So Gabriel Cornwall from Mercantile in lane 1. Alex Woodhouse from the Sunshine Coast into Kynan Burke from Illawarra in 3. Maguire Reid from Onkaparinka in 4. A scratching in 5. Luke Egger from Canning River in 6. One of the real rising stars. Harrison Torrens from Sydney and all the beaches in 7. Rias Diaz from Manly Warringah in 8. And James Murray from INCC Yarra Paddlers in 9. The first of the Yarra Paddlers racing today.
So Maguire and Luke, very strong paddlers, have been performing exceptionally well. I think Luke will take it out. Maguire will, if he wants to win it, it's going to have to come home over the top. But Luke has like you said, is a good up and comer and is making his way strongly through the field. So Luke will go well. Maguire Reid, I expect to be up there. But let's not leave Harry and Kynan out of this from New South Wales. Both younger paddlers. Big Harry Torrens paddling well in the surf also. But I expect him to perform nicely. And Kynan performed very well too at GP2. So should see some nice work from him.
Yeah, we talk about the surf ski kayak. Luke Egger, one of these kayak paddlers, is just starting to dip his toe into surf as well. So it's great to see so many of these paddlers mixing it up. And any opportunity to race is a good opportunity. It's all about the experience and just something different. Keeps them motivated, keeps them fresh. But Luke's certainly a kayak specialist, and it'd be good to see him racing today. Coached by Raman Anderson, who's mentored a lot of the rising stars that have progressed through the Western Australian paddling community.
Great paddler in his own right, but has certainly passed the baton on for many years now. Yeah. And produced Olympians, and will continue to produce Olympians, I have no doubt. But the big thing I find with Ramon and his paddlers is it's not just great paddlers he produces great humans. And you're going to hear that a little bit over this week. The new team within the high performance are certainly driving that, and they want to produce winners, killers on the water, yep, but also fantastic humans off the water.
Yep.
That's been evident by the work they're doing with the community. They had a big community paddle last night, all the Olympians there, and took a number of our paddlers who are here today out for a training.
Yeah, which is it's terrific. Great community.
Look at that start from Luke Egger.
Yeah, he's electrifying over that first 75 to 100 metres, and in that yellow ski, Luke Egger. Maguire Reid, though, in the green and gold ski from Onkaparinka, staying with him, but Egger just an electrifying start.
Yeah, he was half a stroke ahead of everyone on that start. That was quite incredible to see, and exceptional skills. He's been well drilled. You can see that. Maguire is fit and strong, also from Onkaparinga, best club in Australia. Not that I'm biased. He is absolutely a powerhouse, a great surf paddler, and I expect him to come home very strong. But it's going to be interesting to see who wants it the most. At the moment, it does look like Maguire Reid for mine. Yeah, Maguire's got about half a boat length over, maybe quarter of a boat length over Luke. So it's Maguire and Luke. Let's see who's going to race it to the end.
Yeah, really tight between Maguire Reid and that green and gold ski from Onkaparinka. Luke Egger in the yellow ski from Canning River. Harry Torrens probably in third place at the moment. Reid and Egger separated by that scratching in the middle of the field. Torrens possibly in third at the moment, but it does look like Maguire Reid may take this one out. He may progress straight. Egger looks like he's eased off. He's going to let Reid take it. So it will be Maguire Reid will cross the line in first place. Then the next, all the paddles will make it through to the semi-finals. So Luke Egger Looks like he probably just will take second ahead of Burke with a fast finishing Harry Torrens. So it will be Egger in second. Looks like not much separating Torrens and Burke as James Murray crosses the line there just behind Gabriel Cornwall. But a nice paddle by Maguire Reid.
Yeah, he took that one comfortably, didn't he? Luke, I think, had his great start. His plan was obviously to start hard and then wanted to see maybe where he was positioned, and just buttoned off around the 200 metre mark where Maguire picked up his stroke rate and put the power down.
And some of these paddlers, obviously you always want to make a final, but there's some paddlers, do you think they like racing more throughout a day? So someone like Luke might actually want to then have a semi-final to give himself that momentum into the final?
Yeah, it's an interesting question. My gut feel is straight through to the final every time. It's painful out there.
That's true.
There's no waves to catch.
That's true. It's the grind. It is a full 500 metre grind.
You've got to do it the whole distance.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you can get through without a semi, that's a nice way to go. Unless if you're doing a piece with your coach and maybe you need some work. They're working on some sort of plan.
Yep.
They'll do that, but would be unusual. Let's get straight through. Yeah. Oh, look, the positive there for Luke was what an amazing start. It was. I mean, we've seen a number of starts this morning, and really you can't see too much difference between anyone. That was a clear half a stroke difference between him and the rest of the field. So
yeah, an incredibly strong paddler, and just that explosive start is a real trademark of Luke Egger, and we saw it here on display. Didn't have enough to hang on with Maguire Reid taking the first place, but Egger will be back with the rest of the field in the semi-finals, looking for a spot in the final of that K1 500 taking place later on this afternoon.
And we've got a treat coming up in about 10 minutes for you, Mick, the sea boats. So this is going to be an interesting one for you. I don't know if you've seen a lot of sea boats.
I haven't seen any sea boats.
Or maybe you get to call your first sea boat race. They start in about 5 or 6 minutes, so going to be very interesting. Australia not known for Olympic gold medal sea boat paddlers, but we do have a very strong and passionate sea boat crew.
And for the people watching at home, what is a sea boat?
So you're about to find out. So they kneel down. So rather than sitting in the boat, they kneel in the boat. So they put one knee down and one foot out in front. Use one blade, and they don't have a rudder.
Oh, there's no rudder in these?
No rudder. The hardest boat in the world to paddle.
To steer, yeah.
Oh, it's just to hop in it. For anyone who's ever tried to hop in it, it's quite difficult.
And this doesn't have the other thing off the side?
No, like a VAR. No,
yeah.
no, nothing.
It's not like a VAR. Okay.
No, it's just a skinny stick.
So why do people
with one paddle?
Why do people do that?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not too sure. Look, kayakers are known anyway for being a little bit odd, but you imagine if you're a sea boat paddler.
So the sea boats are like the surf boat rowers in surf club.
Possibly.
A little bit different.
Yeah, they are, but skillful.
Yes. Yeah.
Extremely skillful, and just putting the kilometres in and training for this particular event is a reward in itself. Like, it's huge to be able to do this and paddle a boat straight down the course is an achievement.
So with what we're about to see, so we're going to have a couple of, in the same race, a couple of different age group paddlers trying to get qualifying times, so they're not really racing each other, they're racing against the clock?
Yeah, so we've got an under 16 a men's C1 200 and a open men's C1 200, both doing a seeding. So they're both looking for times, and then they'll go into a final. Again, they're not racing against each other, anyone except for themselves and their own time.
Yeah.
So, Max is a quality paddler. He will go on to bigger and better things. So expect him to dominate over Ryan, who's a newer, younger paddler. So, don't hold that against Ryan. He's young and he's new. They're making their way up to the 200 metre mark. just paddling around in one of these sea boats from the warm-up lake all the way around is a challenge.
Just managing to stay dry.
Yeah, it's nice and still, no wind. So happy about that.
So I'm assuming these things are very tippy, or they're quite stable.
No, they're extremely
Very
tippy. Yeah, extremely tippy. Just to be able to hop in it and paddle it, you have to be a good athlete.
And what's the length comparison between those and, say, a K1?
Yeah, slightly shorter boat. Yeah, no rudder. Weight is actually slightly heavier. And yeah, which is crazy. You know, why would you have a heavier boat with one blade? But that's just how it is for strength and rigidity.
Well, looking forward to seeing the sea boats in action. Do they only race over 200? Or
No,
they have lots
all
of-
lengths, all lengths.
Beautiful conditions for paddling here today. Warming up as the week progresses, up to 33 on Sunday. Expecting to top with 24 today, then 28, a pair of 29s and 33. But today, very comfortable for the paddles. Not much breeze.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that breeze plays out. You certainly want tailwind for good times.
Is there a prevailing wind at this course?
There is at times.
Yep.
So it's an east-west course. So it's you're generally going to get some sort of tail or some sort of headwind.
Yeah, okay. So Ryan Ness in lane 3, the West Lakes paddler, and Max Ganzuk also from West Lakes in lane 7. So Ryan in the yellow and Max in the white.
And this is traditionally the club for sea boats. So produced all of our great paddlers, or a lot of our paddlers come from West Lakes. They have a big passion for sea boats and have produced some great boats and some great paddlers.
And how quick would it be over 200?
Quicker.
A lot quicker?
Quicker.
Yeah.
They've got two blades,
Yeah, that's true.
a rudder.
Yeah. And it's lighter. Is there anything good about sea boats?
Paddlers are great.
Ryan Ness, as we mentioned, just
Both looking strong, both powerful strokes. You can see Max has the control over his boat. He's able to work on driving his hip, driving that blade into the water. Big, long hip drive, push off of his foot, power in the water. So he is all about getting fast times and just improving that. They have rule you don't swap.
these skillful paddlers.
Oh, super skillful, super strong, mentally strong and physically strong. And now we move on to our open multi-class in the men's in the same class. So it's a multi-class para event. So we're going to have different abilities across these paddlers. So because someone wins, it may be just because they're a slightly lesser disability than one of the other paddlers. So Westlake, Simon Albury, lane 3, lane 5 from Hurricane Paddling, Mark Daniels and Ben Sainsbury from Champion Lakes in lane 7.
Yeah, so these are the bars.
Oh, these are the parts.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this
Yeah,
is
right.
one with the
Yep.
thing on the side.
Yep.
I don't know what it's called. So I'll do this one with you.
Yep.
And then if it's alright, I've just got to shoot it off.
Yeah, no drama.
Oh no, I could probably do I'll do up to this one here. The girls on 14, 955.
Okay.
And then you got a direct final. Got to cover the direct final, so
Yep.
that'll be good. And then I think we've got a bit of a break. So yeah, this will be that's quite a good field. Yep. C1.
C1 200. Okay.
Yep.
So more women than men
Yeah.
C1 paddlers?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. So I used to coach Penelope.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Coached her last year.
Yep.
So she was going for the Olympics, just didn't quite get to.
Yeah, okay.
Josie is the #1 paddler.
Okay.
She's good. Very, very good paddler.
And so that's a final? Is that
No, that's a seeding race.
a seeding race?
Yep. Just to see where they
Okay.
get drawn.
Will they have a final later on?
Yeah.
Okay. So will there be other women's C1 races?
Yes, 500s and 1000s.
Oh, okay, but that's only one of the two for the 200.
Yeah, but this the seeding race, and then there'll be a final.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying.
A little break there for the men's V1 200 metre open multi-class. Not sure who that was. We'll see who claims it.
And so you can break, but you don't get DQ. It's only if you break twice.
Renters are
Oh, yeah, you think, oh my God, come on.
all that work.
Yeah. And you're going to expect them to be a little bit edgy.
Yeah.
That's brutal.
So take two in the Paracanoe men's V1 200 multi-class seeding. And Mark Daniels in the boat. In lane 5, Ben Sainsbury from Champion Lakes in 7. And Simon Albury in lane 3 from West Lakes. Like the C1, they paddle on both sides of these bars.
They do paddle on both sides and they go hard. Look, the rating is super, super high. Just don't quite get the run in the boat like you do in others. You've got to keep that rating up on the stroke. But certainly that blue boat looked good. Lane 5, Mark Daniels from Hurricane, looks very, make things difficult.
Yeah.
And then we move on to the Paracanoe women's V. Kaya Scholl in lane 4, Amy Ralph in lane 5 from Bayswater, and Emily Pye from West Lakes in lane 6. Away in racing, this Paracanoe Women's V1 200 Open Multi-Class. Kaya Scholl in lane 3, in lane 4. Amy Ralph in the lead in lane 5. Very close to Emily Pye from West Lakes in lane 6. Very close racing between these three ladies. Amy Ralph has got the rating up. She's the one who's just edging in front as well. Couple of little steering strokes, little bit of a hiccup while they're changing over sides.
Yeah. And Emily Pye, just a really strong, long stroke. Amy Ralph rating really quickly, as is Kaya Scholl.
Yeah, she's looking well trained, the lady from Bayswater. Amy Ralph taking that one out over Kaya Scholl from Queensland and Emily Pye from West Lakes.
Direct final of today, the women's 14 and under K1 at 200 in lane 1 from Manly Warringah, Olivia Wilson. Alia Rowe from the Hunter Valley into these young ladies about to become an Australian champion.
Can you believe it? Nearly 10 o'clock, we've got our first final on day one. That's not bad going. The girls will be nervous. A lot of first-time paddlers here, a lot of first-time national paddlers.
So how long would these majority of these kids have been paddling for at 14?
Yeah, look, some of them would have been paddling for 4 weeks. Some of them would have been paddling for 4 years.
Yep.
So there'll be a mix. But I know a lot of these young girls there, they've been, I've seen their names for a couple of years and a couple have only just come up. So going to be interesting to see who takes this one out. Ailey Rowe from Hunter Valley, the Cockle Creek Cobras helps her out. But certainly the Fairfield from them in the past, expect for that to continue. Shen as well from Fairfield. They're well trained there by Wen Tan and these.
Probably most of these girls to have an Australian title up for grabs.
Gold medal.
Mental, the nerves. They've done the physical work. Now it's the mental game for a lot of them as well. Not to panic, just to stick to the plan.
That's it. And the plan for 200 is just get down and go. But the boots. A lot of the girls wouldn't have started with boots before, drop-down boots. So, it's going to be interesting to see how they can manage that. Like you said, who holds their nerve, who's done the work.
So a clean start. Catherine Shen from Fairfield in lane 9 got away well, but the middle lanes also of Bassack and Lee, the two Fairfield paddlers. The final of this women's 14 and under K1 200.
Yeah, I like it. Over this far side, Shen has had a great start. But the middle lane, Mackay, Island, the orange cap, looking very, very strong. Little bit ahead of Lee from Fairfield. So I've got it at the moment. Isabel Island from Mackay leading out from Serena Lee from Fairfield.
So really tight racing here. It looks like Island is going to take it out. She's going to become the Australian champion. Serena Lee from Fairfield looks like she'll pick up the second. The battle for third is going to be tight. It looks like Audrey Mackay from Westlakes may get in. She may actually take the silver. So I think lane 7 Mackay has come through for silver behind Island. So some great racing.
Very, very good call there, Mick. That was a tough one. Mackay from Westlakes, boy, did she put the last few strokes in, or maybe the sniper from the far side managed to get Lee and just stopped her in her tracks. But I think it was Mackay from Westlakes really put the big strong strokes in the last few metres, managed to get the silver medal. But boy oh boy, Isabel Island,
Great race.
gee, she was from the start. She was great, very, very impressive, and her sister and her brother better watch out because she's coming for them.
So she is the under 14 K1 200 champion of Australia. So great result to you. Well done, Isabel Island, for taking out the first of the finals here as part of the Paddle Australia Canoe Sprint Championships. First gold medal of the day to Isabel Island.
Get off. That's all right. Yeah, mate. No, you're good. Yeah, all sweet. So are you back later today?
Yes, yeah, I'll be gone not long.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Cool. Mate, hopefully we'll get you. So yeah, what happens after? So we got 3 races. I assume we'll have to get more paper, or is there?
Yes, they'll bring some